Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are here today to present to you our project titled Production of Biodegradable Plastic from Palm Oil Waste.
Okay, so our project is production of biodegradable plastic from palm oil waste.
For introduction, according to Malaysian Plastic Manufacturer Association, every Malaysian throw away 300 plastic bags a year on average. What worse is that it takes more than 500 years for a plastic bag to degrade in landfill. To avoid any pollution and danger for our environment, using palm oil waste is one of the good initiatives. The palm oil waste contain carbohydrate material known as cellulose and hemicellulose that can be to substitute with fuel in plastic production. There are three project goals in our project. Firstly is production from oil waste to biodegradable product, which is zero waste. Next is to convert conventional plastic to biodegradable plastic. The last one is to save our environment. Next slide, work breakdown structure WBS. For our project, they are divided to four. One, initiation. Number two, activity planning. Number three, finance. Number four, operation. For our risk assessment, to evaluate hazard and minimize the level of its risk by adding control measure.
Next, we go to resource and cost scheduling. Okay, for our resources cost, we have four main resources, which is raw material, chemical and apparatus, human resources, and marketing. As you can see from the table, chemical and apparatus tend to be the higher for our resources cost. The raw material striking the lower for our resources cost. So the total of our main resources cost is in between RM 121,000 to RM 380,000. Next, we go to cost constraint. The first one is skill. How much the worker will get paid is due to the worker skill. The cost of manufacture will get higher if we use a lot of skilled worker, but if we hire a worker with a low skill, it will also make the cost of manufacture increase due to the time consumed by the worker to complete their project. The second resource constraint is the time. The cost of manufacture will get increased if there is a delay to complete the project due to unavoidable incident or accident in the plant or the worker. The last one of resources constraint, the worker can only do limited amount of work at the same time. More worker needed if the workload exceed the number of existing worker. Next, for our scheduling, in week 1, we make a project preparation, which is make a discussion and meeting for our first draft. In week 2 until week 3, we make some analysis, which is a discuss and analyze a current document. In week 3 until week 4, we make a project design, which is create and edit for our final design. In week 4 until week 5, we make a project implementation, which is develop and integrate our system module and perform initial testing. In week 5 until week 6, we make a testing, which is perform and detect the error and document issue. In week 6 until week 7, we make a documentation, which is develop the final report and making a video. Lastly, in week 8, we make a final delivery and presentation.
Okay, next we go to the implementation and monitoring. This is our project implementation stages. It consists of 5 stages. The first one is set up project implementation. Second one is implement activities. Third one is monitoring and reporting. Fourth one is adjust implementation. And the final one is project closure. These are the activities that we have done during these 5 stages. Next is our project monitoring stages. It consists of 4 quarters: quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Next, for our project closure, every project eventually ends or transitions into a new phase, and there are specific steps to be taken at the end of the project or at the end of a phase. Closure of implementation and financial aspects. This includes contracts, fixed assets, etc. And after that, we reflect and gather all lessons, and finally, we prepare a project completion report.
So this is our PERT chart. We will start on 24th of February and we finish on 20th of June. So we will follow the PERT chart closely, so we will not delay. Okay, next. So we will follow Act and Regulation in Malaysia, which are Environmental Quality Clean Air Amendment Regulation 2000, Act 127 Environment Quality 1974, Environment Quality Industrial Effluent Regulation 2009, and Solid Waste and Public Cleansing Environment Act 2007. So for conclusion, the production of biodegradable plastic from palm oil waste is one of the ways to sustain the environment. This project should have a proper work breakdown system, WBS, and organization breakdown system, OBS, so the goal is achieved. After planning the working process, the risk should be identified and the probability the risk can affect the production should always be analyzed. The scheduling for this project must be arranged according to the type of resource and the risk listed. Therefore, the PERT is used to identify the time it takes to finish this project. Some important acts and regulations are identified to make sure this production does not against any of the acts and the regulations stated. Thank you.